is this expired? It has been printed and reprinted many times. But
We all thought that's a tsunami in 2004.
That's
It
right.
was
and at the time of the tsunami in Thailand or Taiwan, wherever there was Thailand,
Thailand, yeah.
That's when it was heavily publicized.
Yeah.
Doesn't take away from the fact that it's as valid today as it was then. But, yeah. So where is Shmuley, you want to give a report about what's happening with the legal financial applications, etc.? You said you're going to look into that.
The report is that it costs $1,300 to set up the charitable organization. Besides that, we need to incorporate. Means we need to file paperwork. We have to decide where that is, and then 3 people's names. That doesn't matter. That takes nothing. Whatever the state is, it depends on how much it costs. New York costs much more than Kentucky. That can get started as soon as you're ready to tell me to get started. Past that, we'll have to make a articles of incorporation, which is not really, we just have to make a sentence of what we do. Not a big deal. Label, and I can knock that out in 2 seconds. Sure.
Yep.
And you're ready to go.
But then
I need a green light.
But then you need someone who's going to be processing the credit cards and follow it, right?
With regards to credit cards,
no?
you need to have the organization open to make a bank. Then you can do it all, and you can use Stripe, or you can use PayPal. You can use anybody. Both of those are good for smaller numbers.
But all this has to be made, right? It doesn't happen by itself.
Hey, give me a green light and $1,300. I'm ready to go.
But we.
So you're okay with processing the credit cards, Shmuley?
So do it in PayPal.
From donations. I'm saying from Shluchim, I want to give donations, or any balabos, or any person wants to give. They can go through your Chabana.
Within a week, we can have it online.
But mostly from the Shluchim, we have the credit cards. That's the way. So in other words, that every month somebody has to actually charge those credit cards.
No, it can be put up onto an automatic.
Okay, Reuven, we need an update.
Just before we do, Reuven, before you start, you see this website? This is the Chidon, Mashiach Chidon.
Yeah.
And you see they have Cash App, Zelle, PayPal.
On accountability, but no problem.
So what would be the accountable
maybe we can use his direct thing.
There's nothing there. It doesn't.
No, but one second, Zusha, I forwarded to you a receipt. He has some sort of entity already set up.
You did.
But that's separate and apart from the fact that we said we want to keep the financials away from his jurisdiction. If we want to use it Zeitweilig, we can. In other words, he has apparently, right? I sent you. You received the.
It doesn't help me because it's Canada, but that's something else. I mean.
Yeah, but whatever. But what it does mean is that he's taken the time to set up some sort of entity.
Yes, but I thought we said that we want to have a separate entity where he's not in charge, right?
I think that's the way to go.
100%. But what I'm saying is, in the meantime, if the whole kunz was that we want to get, if this whole conversation is because we want to get started up and running right away, we can transfer it in and then transfer it out. That's the kunz. The question is, or the point is, he's got one. So do we want to use it? Do we not want to use it? It's I think it's up to us.
So I think we discussed this already. Why are we going over the same thing again and again.
It's simply because to create right now another an entity that a tax free entity is going to cost us $1,300. And do we want to spend that money right now? Do we have it? Do we want to do it? Or and the emes says if we want to do things right, then maybe it does make sense to push ourselves a little bit to set it up in a right way instead of having to afterwards change things. Can I explain?
Make it one of his things.
One of the things is
Make it one of,
No, but what's his
we'll
name?
give him the money, but we'll give him the money, but the effort he'll do it. He'll do it. He's done it already. He has experience. He'll follow up. He'll take the contact from Shmuley Litvin and he'll then do it.
But I one second. Let me interrupt. Shmuley said he can do it. He's willing to do it. Why
should we give it to him? Shmuley's here. Yeah.
Shmuley said he can do it. All he needs is we should give him the green light and the green buck, which is 1,300 green bucks, and not just the green light, and he'll set it up. He said he could have done it last week or 2 weeks ago, as long as we would have given it, but we're kind of going in circles. I think it's necessary that we should set up some kind of a financial committee. I mean, who is a choy in making sure that all those commitments of the whoever we collected the names and cards, or if we didn't, to get it over to one place, and we have to. So, Shmuley, you willing to keep track all the credit cards? Yes. Okay. Fine. So why do we have to burden him and then go back and forth and back and forth with somebody who is volunteering to do it? I think we all trust him, and let's do it. Personally, I think it's worthwhile investing the $1,300, setting it up properly, and rather, as you said.
Maskim.
Okay, so
The only other thing you need to decide is where's the address? Where's it based?
Where's the cheapest in America? That doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
770 Eastern Parkway.
It's not mine. I need the mail.
Ah.
I have a 770 Eastern Parkway in Kentucky. It's the only other one in America. It's owned by a church. I'm trying to leave.
Gotta make them an offer they can't refuse. Anyways, so let's go. So one of us, Shmuley, why don't you just do it by you? Go to your address. Fatik.
Or make a PO box if you don't want to.
Shmuley is willing to do it, his address, his place. He's willing to do the work. So why are we? Why don't we accept his offer? Gracious.
We are accepting.
Thank you.
I'm sitting in a room that's dollar by dollar. Got nothing else to do in here. My chavrusa already happened today, so I'm good.
Okay, good, done. So Shmuley, move forward.
Yeah, but hold on. He just said he needs $1,300.
Okay, so we have to start collecting.
Let's
So
run.
where's the
We have some credit. Didn't we have some credit cards already?
Can you post a link? Right. Can you post a
those
link?
credit cards?
Well, the only
Sure,
thing
those
about processing credit cards right now, Sunday, is that we don't have it's going to take a few months to have the 501 that will be a cheaper rate.
I don't think it's gonna. We're not talking about big enough money to really make it that big of a difference. We'll bite the bullet.
So it's a percentage.
So we have to start.
think-
Yeah, it's true.
I think just do it because time is money, and we let's just do it. If we want to do it
today, what happened in Menvov? So
I can run the credit cards and make a donation toward the cause. Like I'll run it on my 501c3.
Okay.
I'll run the credit.
So we have to go back to the list. Each one of us
Everybody who got whoever they got should reach out to their people that we should get their cards. Now,
Okay,
here's
but you
mine,
need
we
a
need the
link.
cards.
Okay, so Sandy, if you can send a link, we know where to send it to.
What a link to what?
You need
To
to
send the donation.
got numbers though.
Shalom Chabad.
Not a donation. We need a picture of everybody's card. That's what we need. Or people want to send their picture, whatever it is. We need the card
I don't
numbers.
think
and
people are going to want to send their picture. We have to find let's not start collecting everybody's cards. Let's collect, or if we could, we'll keep it in a database. Okay, Shmuley should start collecting cards. I don't want everybody's cards because I'm only doing this as a one-time thing to get the process started. But if Shmuley's the one who's going to take the chayes, turn the cards, then let him start collecting. Let's find a way to funnel it to him. Shmuley, what's the best way for you to collect the information?
I'll get back to you.
Okay. For the first 1,300.
Please make it as simple as an email or a WhatsApp. Don't make it complicated.
Yeah.
One minute. Sandy, go ahead.
For the first 1,300, there it is. I put it in the chat. shalomchabad.com/donate.
Okay.
They should just write in the notes. They should write in the notes.
Minatzchim. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Now, Reuven, you spoke to Chaim after
Okay,
me.
I had last night a conversation for about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes with Chaim. It was a great conversation. I think he wanted to get a sense. I think he was still a little lost after all the comments. We spoke to him, the technical elements and so on and so forth, but he wanted to connect to the energy of what's going on and how it will be and so on and so forth. I didn't speak anything to do with him getting paid and all those yanim, all the yanim of the past. It was about getting to work. And I think he feels much more energized after the conversation I had with him yesterday. We spoke about the layout of the Minatzchim itself. We spoke about the Chevra that are like very involved. He wants to feel obviously that he's going to be supported by us strongly, which means and I told him that this can go in two ways. It can, by hired someone, it can be that everybody throws the towel in and says, okay, Chaim is going to do it. But I said, that's not the purpose. The purpose is that you're going to be the Merkus over here that is going to, keep us all together and engaged and involved. And I think at the beginning, it's very important that that the whole energy over here be a, we're not going to throw it on him that you take it and do it, because it'll take him a while till he gets a flow of it and he gets a sense of it. He mentioned to me a few times, I'm just a bacher. So that's important to know that. So I think I'm just saying this, I'm sharing it with you. I went through with him. He wanted to know, let's say, what were the pu'ulas that we were thinking of. I told him we had that we have so many pu'ulas that we were thinking of, and didn't happen. So I went through like a bunch of things that we had ideas for. So we spoke about each of them and so on and so forth. And then I discussed primarily the three what's it called again, pu'ulas that we want to do right at the beginning. The first one was the kinnis Torah that we're going to have. So he wanted to get a better sense of what we're talking about, and I discussed it with him, and he gets it, he understands it, and he's willing, he's and then we discussed also the podcast. He also crystallized what the idea of that podcast would be, and then thirdly we discussed the Fabrengen. The once a month Fabrengen. So I discussed all three things. Now, what I do want to say is that although he's not that, by the way, he said he might come on to today's meeting, but depending on the timing, I don't know what his schedule is. So I see that he's very good working. I started meeting with him at 2:30 a.m. his time. So I see that his time that he's ready to work is from 2:30 to 4 a.m. Basically, because I know it was something like that, or maybe 1:30 to whatever. That was the time that I was talking to him, and he was not willing to let go. He wasn't sleepy. He was at his okay. Now, the Poil Mamish. Let me just say one thing. The Poil Mamish. I came out with him as follows: that each project, the core group of us will meet with him. A separate meeting than this Minatzchim meeting, sometime during this week or next week, on each one of these projects, and give him a clear vision and the points of what we're doing, so then he will know what the steps, he will be able to create what are the steps that needs to be done for the fruition of it. In other words, we're not just dropping him 3 projects and say, take this and run with it. We're going to have an initial meeting with him, so that we brainstorm together with him, we create the idea together with him, he has a clarity on them, he knows what it is, because that's how he began his phone call. He says, in order for this to be successful, I need to have a very clear vision. I had a clear vision when it came to when it came to Visa Hastis,
Hidon.
when it came to the
Right.
exactly what we're doing, and I feel like I don't have it out Benegea to the Minatzchim and to the things that we're doing. So that's the first step that we have to arrange with him. By each of these, I think we have to hold 3 meetings and give him what exactly we're expecting. It doesn't have to be necessarily 3 meetings. I think 2 of them can be in one meeting and 1 of them in a separate meeting.
Granted, and I think that while he has a good point, the problem is if you're not going to be there on a meeting to discuss, to ask your questions directly, get answers from like the whatever it is, then and you're hearing it like cliche, of course you're not going to have clarity about it, and that's the point.
So
he has to
be there
to come to
so
a meeting or two.
Whether it's our Minatzchim meeting on Monday or whether it's a special meeting that we set up. I told him that in front of before the Evikshu event, we had so many conferences. So he's so that's what he's waiting for. If I can shut the recording for a moment, Mendy.
Exactly.
But he is, if you're talking about the Chalamayit 9 days, I think his topic would be very appropriate. He talks about the Beis Hamikdash, and he will talk it very interesting. And he could be one of them. This is just an idea. I'm not saying Kazere Kadesh, but here is an idea of maybe somebody that we can tap into, and it should not be too difficult to get him, unless somebody else another interest. A good idea.
I think a good idea is maybe to discuss the base of Benishal Bubble sticker. Who can we talk to about that? Who put that together? Simon Jacobson? Abiel? Abiel's not here, so I can't think. Who put together the sikha? I mean, it's unbelievable. Huh?
The base of Rabbeinu Sheba Bubble sikha, that can also be an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
Do we know?
So why don't we give Chaim 2 or 3 ideas and let him make one of them happen?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But we also have to set a date for our kinnis for the big event, that we want to all these rabbanim.
So I heard that he said that to be it successfully, it should be after Tishri. I think
Right. He said Cheshvan. He said Cheshvan time. But maybe
let's select a date and let's.
So Cheshvan. That's too late.
It has to be on a Sunday if you want a few hours of shiurim. Let's take a look. What Sunday is it? Anybody have a calendar for next year?
So go 1 second. I'll open it.
Okay.
Kaf Aleph Cheshvan is a Sunday.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but hold on. But this is a week before the Kinnis.
No.
That's a Sunday before the Kinnis.
Why is that such a problem?
Okay.
It's not such a problem. The truth is, I mean, because realistically, this is an online event and it's not targeting Lubavitchers.
Exactly. This is for the ganze Welt. Every year.
The only concern is whether, like Chaim is going to say, and I would just bring it up to his attention and say that it is. If he has like some big plan to do something by the Kinnis, that's going to conflict. But otherwise, I think why not?
Right. We should have that in mind.
Then we can come to the Kinnis and sign up much more Minatzchim and say, look at this amazing event we just put up. It should be success and it'll be huge.
Yeah, but I think it wants a discussion first with Chaim, with Shlomi, to see if he has any plan for before the Kinnis. Because last year he also had something, I think, before the Kinnis, if I bring it or something, if I remember correctly.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I think we should always be in touch with Shlomi and all of our projects so that he feels. I told this to Chaim. I said Shlomi is one of them. Shlomi is one of the Minatzchim, and so there's Shmuley Litvin, who's the shliach in Kentucky. There's in Montreal. There's this one doing so, and then we have part of the Minatzchim is the shliach in the Mashiach office.
So it won't be again. So like we mentioned before. In the past, it won't be a bad idea if Shlomi comes on once in a while. Let's say every 2 months, every 3 months. Let him come. Let him be involved.
That's up to him.
I'm saying you should mention to
I
him.
can tell you that he listens in afterwards.
Oh, okay.
He keeps himself informed. He keeps himself
Okay.
abreast.
All right.
And he is, again, as Sandy said before, I'm just seconding this. I'm just following up on the same
I'm
thing.
saying just to work together. It's much
Absolutely,
nicer.
very nothing against it. Chas v'sholem. He's very happy it would happen, and he sees it as part of the Mashiach campaign. Period.
So that's what you should tell him. Give him that message. It'll be better if he comes down every couple months.
Okay, so he has the invitation and he knows it.
Is it an annoying mother to just?
So Lepoyan, when do you want to have the meeting with him? At 2:30 this morning, 1:30 this morning? When do you want to have the meeting? No, I'm serious. We're gonna be wasting time.
That's also right now. I just
He doesn't have good reception. He told me. So
Where
have
is he?
patience.
Does anybody know where he is?
Pennsylvania. No.
So we're gonna wait for another 2 months till it gets better reception.
No. He'll take a couple of hours, but he'll get to you. He'll get back to you. No, definitely. That's what
Okay.
happened. There was a couple hours. He went back and forth.
Okay, let's make
We
a meeting.
So
Let's make
who is setting up the
um,
meeting? Who is going to be on the meeting?
I can send it out.
I don't think we need the greater Minatzchim on the meeting.
Right.
Oh,
Whoever can come on.
We're here now. Whoever's here in this group right now can get on the meeting.
Yeah. What time?
We can
So
do
send an update what time it's going to be on the Vadam Minatzchim, Vadam Pearl.
Yeah.
When is
right,
that? When is that?
Okay, so I'm going to reach out to Chaim, ask him when he's ready, when he can give us an hour, and we're going to talk, and then I'll put it out and let him give me a few slots, and I'll put it out to the Chaver, and we'll decide which one works the best for us.
By the way, you know he's also on that group.
Okay. What's wrong?
Okay.
No, I'm just
Okay,
letting
as a matter of clarity, Ruven, are you now the new liaison with Chaim, or is that still Mendy?
No. I think it should be Ruven.
Yeah, I think if he joins us in meetings, we don't need to be such a liaison over here. I think he should come and be on, and we'll yeah.
But he's not. So far, he's not. Okay.
I'm just saying, if we need to get like a message, if anybody
At the meeting,
because also-
we'll clarify that this meeting is the
I'll be
same
able
thing
to
he's
work
looking
with.
for.
I'll be able to work with voice notes with him or whatever. I'm not going to always talk to him, but yeah.
So between
Also-
you and Mendy, it definitely will happen.
I want
Okay.
to.
I need
I wanna
Mendy,
come
just a
back to
bad
So
one-
one.
oftentimes, I want to tell you something. Here's something very interesting, and I think there's an Indian in this in Bishvili Nivra Elam, Nivra Michid, that it says, and it's a very fascinating thing that somebody was showing me in medical, and they were taking in psychiatry, whatever it is, they're showing me one of the textbooks, saying that if Chas v'shalom, somebody is drowning, and you look to the shore for help, would you rather there be one person on the shore or two people on the shore? And it says very
Probably one.
interestingly, as a matter of statistics, you'd rather be one person on the shore, because if there's two people on the shore, then each one says the other guy's going to help save you. Versus if there's only one person, he understands that the responsibility is theirs. And I think that's a part of the issue here is that everybody gets busy and say, okay, so I can't get around to speak to Chaim, so the other one will speak. So that I think there has to be a sense of clarkite about who's the one who even if he comes on the meetings, somebody's got to be the guy who when we're discussing, Chaim has to be told these things, that person says, that's me. I've got to be the one to tell Chaim these things.
Okay, I'm on.
But you have to also be practical, Ruben. Sometimes you're flying, you're going ahead. You're going
I
ahead.
travel a lot, so at those
That's what I'm
times I'm
saying.
going to have to call someone else and say, I need you to
Okay.
fill in for 2
Fine.
weeks or for a week or
Okay.
whatever.
Good. Okay. Perfect.
Phone
So
and the
you're
WhatsApp
going
work
to
for
you're going to
everyone.
what's it called? You're going to be the one to tell that person. Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Good. Very good.
Right?
But listen, I
one
might be
minute.
fired in a few weeks, but at least I'll try.
Yeah.
Biking? You're biking or?
No, now I'm sitting. I have to talk again on the bike. Balt.
Right.
Okay. So to recap, what was
A quick video
what's
to
this?
show. A quick video to show what Sandy just said.
The Gemara calls
This is a famous YouTuber in France. Let me show
He's
you.
putting himself on fire. Oi.
He was about to light himself on fire,
Zay.
and a yeshiva bacher, looks like Lubavitcher, Everybody's watching and this is the only guy who does something about it.
Wow.
That's all. He's poor. This is it.
Gasoline.
Yeah, and he's about to lie himself. Everyone's watching.
Wow.
Not the Bacher. He's not watching. So that's Ruvain right there.
What did he do? What did he do?
He knocked out.
He knocked out the match from his hands.
He's
Yeah,
tried to knock it out, and then he's trying to clearly show the.
Was this real or was this a setup?
It's a setup, but the Bacher didn't know.
Oh, the Bacher didn't
No,
know.
the guy
Nobody
was doing
knew.
a setup.
Only the guy taking the video and that guy, that actor. He's very famous in France, this guy.
And what would he have done if nobody would stop him? Would he burn himself?
His stomach wasn't gonna really burn.
He's definitely Lubavitcher. He's wearing the yarmulke from Vihestis, from the place next to Mendy's. And
anyway, yeah, it was it made the world news.
And when did this happen? When did they do this? When did they post it?
Mamish lately. This was mamish lately. Apparently.
I want to share something. I had some a thought on the Shabbos. I shared it by the Kiddush. It came to me by the Fabrengen Shabbos. You have Shavuos Tammuz and you have Tisha B'av. So the hishapcha of Shavuos Tammuz and the hishapcha from Tisha B'av comes about through the two Mashiachs, Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David. The hishapcha of Shavuos Tammuz comes about being Megala the Toiv. Shavuos Tammuz is the Toiv. So the Rebbe has a sich in Tafshin Nun. I saw that punkt opened up on Shabbos where the Rebbe says the Friedige Rebbe. The Rebbe says that the ability to be Megala the Toiv of Shavuos Tammuz comes from Yosef ben Shvayas Rishona. That when Yosef is 17, so Yosef is the union of Yesod, which is the Imrut Tzadiki Toiv, and therefore he is 17. And he's Megala the Toiv, and that's why the same 17 years of Yosef was Megala by Yeshiv Yaakov, by Yechi Yaakov, Eretz Mitzrayim, Shvayas Rishona. That's Yosef's Pa'ula. That even in Eretz Mitzrayim, you can have Mamish Geula. And that's the power of Yosef. So the Rebbe connects it to the Friedige Rebbe, who's Yosef, whatever, and he's the one, and therefore Yud Beis Tammuz happens right before Yud Zayin Tammuz. That's this hapcha of Yud Zayin Tammuz. But the Rebbe doesn't continue this point. What's this hapcha then of Tisha B'av? This hapcha of Tisha B'av, that's through Yehuda. Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben Yehuda. Vayigash Elo Yehuda and Yosef. And that's why Mashiach, that's Mashiach ben David, that's Noilid v'Tisha B'av. And that's why that's Menachemov. That's already the koyach from. So when you have the Friedige Rebbe standing on one side and the Rebbe standing on the other side, it's mahapich the whole 3 weeks together. So it's interesting that Parshas Pinchas. So the Rebbe's Makashe that Parshas Pinchas is all about Yosef. The whole Parshas Pinchas is very much emphasized Yosef because Pinchas was an anikel of Yosef. And Rashi says he was an anikel from his mother's side from Yosef. In addition to that, Hinin and Noisamlo is Brisi Shalom, Bris of the Yosef, the union of Yesoid is Shaykh the Brisi Shalom. And the Rebbe says the end B'noi Tzalachad are also Mechabe V'Sa'aretz, they were also from Yosef. The end of the whole of the parsha, the Rebbe says, is with Shmini Atzeres, and what Shmini Atzeres is connected to Yosef. Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot is connected to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and Shmini Atzeres is Eila Todos Yaakov Yosef. So the last parsha, so the whole parsha's Pinchas is Yosef, and it occurred to me that the Musafim are also Yosef, because Yosef means Musaf. And according to Chassidus, it says when there is the three tefillas are Shachas, Mincha, Ma'ariv, the fourth tefillah, Musaf is connected to Yosef. So the whole Parshas Pinchas is Yosef. And to add to that, the Rebbe says Pinchas is Gematria Yitzchak. So it's Yosef Yitzchak. So Mamish, the Friedige Rebbe is the energy of Parshas Pinchas. And he's the Mavasar of the Geula. Because just like Yosef right before his passing said Pocket Pekadati, what did the Friedige Rebbe say? La Alta L'Tshuva, La Alta L'Geula. He starts that energy. But Mashiach ben Yosef is all a hachana for Mashiach ben David. And that's Menachemov. And this is showing that's where the two meet. So when we have these two powers, wow,
Are we gonna write down? Are we gonna do
Alright.
what we said before to write down? You know all the nekudas, what to give over. Do you need that?
Basic the nekudas, but I think this nekuda about the two Mashiachim does stuff out of shine.
Okay, ich weiß. We're Pearl Mamish. But the Pearl Mamish, Mendy, I think we should do it. No? Do you need it? You don't need it.
I wrote it out in the chat, and I can just copy it and put it into
send
Yeah,
the.
put it in. But if I know what am I supposed to relate to Chaim? If someone has, I'm going to try to remember based on what we have over here. But if someone
Write it down. That's it.
what the nekudas were, I'm gonna send it over. I'm gonna speak to him. I'm gonna leave him a message right now in 10 minutes.
Okay. So you're organizing the meeting, correct?
Yes, I'm gonna organize the meeting.
Okay, good.
Say that. And the point of this meeting is to talk the Iker about the two projects that we really the Fabrengen is about all three projects. Let's cover all three of them.
I just sent what I typed up to the VAD in WhatsApp group, and hopefully those points will guide you.
All right.
Okay.
Let's say there.
I love the fact that the average age of the Minatzchim just came down very nicely.
You mean the Vada Poel?
Vada Poel, yeah.
Okay. So now it's Cholamayit, right?
Yeah.
As Shivasa Tammuz ist der erste Tag Yontiv. Tisha B'Av ist der letzte Tag Yontiv. Es sind 3 Wochen Cholamayit.
Ja. Is Chalamayit damit nicht sich arbeiten. Aber es ist da wieder Ovid, darf man arbeiten.
Aber mein Malacha mag mir ja.
Okay.
Alright, good.
Aber L'tzoydech HaMoyed make man euch it.
Darf man nicht nur mehr mag.